Thank you. Okie dokie. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our June Small Business Council Lunch in the Know. For those of you whom I've not had a chance to meet, I'm Dottie Summerfield Justy, and it's my pleasure to serve as the co-chair of the Small Business Council this year with my friend Patricia McKinney. And we're just going to wait just a few more minutes as the rest of our participants log in and join us. Hope everybody's having a good beginning of their summer and getting enough of the heat as it started in earnest for certain. For those of you who have never done a roundtable, if this is your first time, we're going to have a good time. This will be your chance to introduce yourselves and get to know 4 or 5 people in your group and share some pretty important information with each other. I'm going to wait just a couple more minutes. We're a little bit ahead of our time. And as soon as everybody gets logged in, I'm going to turn the meeting over to Patricia in just a second. As you are logging in, if you don't mind, your cameras can stay on, but we're asking everyone to please mute yourselves. And if by any chance your screen doesn't have your name in it, can you right click on it and rename it and make sure that we can see your name? And as we go through the program today, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to use that chat button in the bottom. And Patricia and I will get back to any of your questions and answers as quickly as possible. We're waiting on just a few more people and then we will get started. We're very happy that so many of you are here, taking time out of the early summer day to join us for our Lunch in the Know. I'd like to introduce, and then in just a second, Patricia will kick off our meeting, my co-chair for the Small Business Council, Patricia McKinney. Patricia, you want to turn your camera on and join us? There you are.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. This is a really exciting event that we have planned for you. It's nothing like hearing from our small business leaders and business owners. Right now, we want to take a time to give a big thanks to Independent Bank for sponsoring our Small Business Council programming. And representing iBank today is Heather Wood. Heather, we'd love to hear from you.
Thanks, Patricia. Hello, everyone. I want to extend a warm welcome to all of you that has joined us today. I know that schedules are busy, so I appreciate you choosing to spend the next hour with us to learn about a topic that I think will be very helpful. As mentioned, my name is Heather Wood, and I am a branch manager at Independent Bank. I am very interested in hearing more from Meredith. As a banker, we walk alongside our business customers and we identify with the challenges that are unique to them. I'm looking forward to today's roundtable so that I can become a better resource to our bankers in the future. Of course, we at Independent Bank would love the opportunity to serve you with the same personalized touch and heroic service that we offer our customers today. Please reach out to me or to one of the bankers on the call, or stop by one of our 9 branch locations and say hello. Thank you again for being here, and I really hope that you enjoy today's discussion. Dottie, I'm going to pass it back to you so we can keep it moving.
Thank you, Heather, and thank you and Independent Bank for all that you do for us at the Small Business Council.
Thank you.
I just want to take a little opportunity to tell you a little bit about why today's program is so important to us. With the Small Business Council, and at the beginning of the year, our think tank, the brain children behind all of our programming that we have been able to offer for you, we talked a lot about the things that stop us from reaching our goals as business leaders, business owners, business professionals, the things that we don't realize are keeping us from our best growth, from our best successes in our businesses. And it was incredibly important to all of us that we realized that this was a time that we could share those nuggets of information, which is why we are doing today in a slightly different format. I'm going to turn the program back over in just a second to Patricia, who's going to introduce Meredith Hennessey, who's going to lead us at the beginning of our program. But as we are doing this, please think about the things, and I think we sent you all a few questions to tickle your mind that you're going to talk about later in your sessions. Listen and think, and please be ready to share. This is the first time we're going to have a chance to share with each other the things that we've all learned that we may not know and not have told someone else, the things that were our barriers to great growth and success. Patricia, it's all yours.
Thank you, Dottie. And now I have the pleasure of introducing Meredith Hennessey, who's our speaker. Meredith has dedicated her career to addressing systemic barriers that perpetuate social and economic disparity. She draws on 2 decades of experience designing implementing large-scale strategic community initiatives and working with interdisciplinary teams, and creating impact across shared populations. She has led numerous public and private sector strategic and business plans, as well as supported the design of an array of community programs and national demonstration pilots. Meredith is principal and practice leader for Consilience Group, and she also serves as a very valuable member of our Chamber's small business think tank. Meredith, the floor is yours.
Great. Thank you so much, Patricia. And it's so great to be here and be part of this group today. And happy to see some familiar faces and lots of new faces on the screen. And it's interesting, like listening to Patricia introduce me. I mean, I'm really not here to talk about any of that stuff that I do through our business.
Meredith, can you turn your camera on? I don't think we can see you.
Sorry, Daddy, you can't hear me?
Can't see you.
Oh, I'm here. I think you might have to change your view.
She's on.
Yeah. Here as a small business owner, right? So sort of to kind of be in conversation around this topic. So I'm framing up the session, but there's a opportunity here. I'm here to gain knowledge as well, right? And to be able to share and be in conversation. So I'm gonna, like I said, frame things up for discussion today, but it's really going to be about you all having a chance to connect with each other. And so I'm going to go ahead and hopefully successfully share my screen. I think that's not the right screen. Bear with me. All right, let's see. Sorry, y'all. I'm having some challenges. Patricia, is there a way to, on your end, to stop share screen? Because
it will be Tunja, but I am seeing your today's session objectives.
You are? Okay, great. I'm not, but as long as you, okay. Now as long as you all can see it, then I think we're in good shape. Okay, wonderful. It's moving these great Zoom things around. Okay. So really, I kind of have set this up that today's session is about providing you a space and a forum for talking through some of your challenges as small business owners, but also maybe some of your successes and the strategies that you have found to be helpful when it comes to really positioning your business for growth, right? And, and I think also feeling like you have this space among other peers to also share maybe some of the struggles and your fails as well, right? That this is always an ongoing learning process. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about our journey and, as a small business owner, but this is really not about sharing a one-size-fits-all solution. It's about trying to take away those things that you think will work for you and your business environment. Again, and sort of, wherever there's maybe, seems like that, oh, I haven't tried that. Maybe that would be successful and helpful, right? That's the goal of today. And so one thing, I wanted to start off thinking about are what are those key contributors of growth, or sort of on the flip side, what are the inhibitors of growth? And there are a number of things, and I think these will resonate with you all, that can really position your business for growth. And it's making effective use of business intelligence, right? Really understanding your market, who's in the space, who are your competitors, who are your potential partners, and being able to have the time to do that, right? To be able to do that research and understand the market and your opportunity. It's developing a reliable sales and customer pipeline, right? And really moving to a place where you're able to kind of proactively build that pipeline, and always easier said than done. Investing in people, investing in your team, investing in relationships and partnerships, managing kind of proactively managing your cash flow and really understanding your capital needs and being able to plan for that. Spending time defining your own business systems and protocols. And then this gets us to proactive planning, right? Really having the time and space to think strategically about where you want to take your business. And so then, as business owners, our two most valuable assets are time and money. And I would actually argue that time is even more valuable. Money is important. It plays a very important role. It helps resource you. And it's ultimately the tool that allows you to build in more time and space for the planning. But your business better than anybody else, and is really thinking about what unique mindset, kind of point of view, skills do you offer that really no one else can replicate. And then being able to use your resources strategically to then, kind of offload some of those other tasks so you have more time doing the things that only you can do. And again, much easier said than done. Believe me, I know. So, as I said, I'm going to talk a little bit about our own journey as small business owners. I have a business partner who founded Consilience Group in 21 years ago. She birthed the business, and when she and I met up was really around 2013. And she was operating as sort of a sole business owner, had an amazing team of contractors who would work with her from time to time, but really didn't, she was a sole proprietor, right? That was the business model. And when I met up with her in 2013, and we sort of, felt like we had shared interests and kind of aligned ethos, and we're doing similar work, and we're having this conversation around partnership, said, well, what's really important to me is that we build a business and that we grow the business. And these are, what's outlined here on this slide are really the things that the strategies we applied over the last, 8 years. And while, we are still a small business, and we are in sort of our firm, Consilience Group, is a management consulting firm. We work with a number of nonprofits and government and community service providers, really around helping them address community health needs. So our work is really about strengthening the work of others. And so, we said together, let's figure out how we're going to really kind of take this business to the next level. So over the last 8 years, we now are operating with 7 employees. We've kind of moved beyond our presence in Memphis in the Mid-South. We have a second market that we're working with in St. Louis. And then we've really been able to also grow our national presence and build a whole base of national clients and customers. And there's always more work to be done. But, what I would say has helped us along this journey is really being clear about our why for growth. I mean, there's obviously let's, how can we, build our, increase our revenue, look at increasing profit. But there's more beyond that, right? For us, it was how can we replicate and scale the work we're doing so more people, more communities can benefit, that we're able to influence the kind of thinking in the field itself. And that is really what has fueled us and helped us think about our strategies for growth, right? And it gets back to what are the things that we are uniquely positioned and trained and have the skill set to do, and then how do we take the things off our plate that we are just, not as well equipped to do. And that gets us to outsourcing. Like we are now at a point where we outsource all our HR, our payroll, our IT, accounting. And so we have amazing partners in the community who we rely on to be experts in those areas because we are not. But then we feel confident that we have that kind of expertise available to us. We really think about and plan with scale and replication in mind. And so that means for us, really thinking about how we take advantage of technology and digital tools and automation so that our team is spending their time on the things that really only, that they're best positioned to do, and that we're automating as much as sort of the rote processes as much as we can. And there, again, always more work to be done around that. We are proactively managing cash flow, building reserves, even if that just means putting away a little bit every year, but having intentional around that so that we have resources we can draw on when we really see an opportunity to kind of, invest more in an area that we think is a growth opportunity. We're investing in our people, our staff, our team, and they're building their competencies and skill sets, and thinking about how to strengthen our partnerships, again, whether that's with our strong network of contractors who we still really heavily rely on, and other community partnerships. We are trying to be strategic and proactively manage our time. And so, as you all know, 3 hours of time in 30-minute increments is not the same as 3 hours of time that are straight 3 hours of uninterrupted time. And so we do small things like try to really proactively manage our calendars. And so that when we need those big blocks of time for thought work, whether it's for project work or for, strategic planning around the business, we really carve those out and protect the time as much as we can on the calendar. And then finally, I think this is part of our ethos as well, is that we try to be fair in all that we do. We try to be fair to the people who work with us, our team. We try to be fair with our clients and customers, and we try to be fair to ourselves, which is sometimes, I think, the hardest part is actually remembering that you have a stake in all of this, and honoring that as a company and business owner. And so that's really the setup for this conversation, is that, I'm going to hand it back to Patricia, and she's going to help us get organized into small groups. But, thinking about ways in which you have been successful in growing your business, thinking about where you have seen those roadblocks, talking with your peers about what has worked for them, sharing and commiserating a bit. And there are some questions here on this slide that your group facilitators are equipped with, and they'll be walking you through these questions. And so you'll have some time to dig in more. And then you'll come back as a larger group and have a few minutes share out for each group. But I think that's it. I'm going to hand it back to Patricia.
Thank you so much, Meredith, for those nuggets of wisdom that we can definitely think about, especially protecting your time. I've always heard that what doesn't get scheduled doesn't get done. So it's important to really value that time for those that deeper work that needs to be done, especially when it comes to taking care of your clients. So now I know that Tunja, our facilitator, has been feverishly working behind the scenes to get all of the groups together. So we will move into those breakout groups, and each group will be assigned a scribe thanks to our ambassadors and our staff. They will be taking notes. So we do have those questions that we sent to you earlier, but they will have them as well. So they'll read those out to you. And as you share, they'll be taking notes. And after the 20-minute session is done, we will come back together and each scribe will report out all of those great nuggets that you shared. So with that being said, Tunja, are we ready? Everybody back in? All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get our session started. We had the privilege of having a couple of our friends from Independent Bank in our room, and we also had a couple of newer businesses. So they're in an interesting spot. So when we were talking about working on the business as opposed to in it, of course, when you're starting your business out, you're kind of doing the balancing act of both. We also learned that carving time out, specific time, using a planner or using time that you normally might have used for commuting to really plan. So if you were commuting, you would take some of that time to plan out some of those things that you need to do for your business. Priorities came up. You know, it's important to keep those priorities so that you can reach your goals. When we talked about what they have done to overcome anything blocking their business, of course, our two newer businesses asking the right questions and sticking to that, and then looking to see what competitors are doing and learning how to craft that. Again, at the stage of their business right now, they're really trying to figure out how to establish those boundaries. But the good part is they know that it's important to start that groundwork first. So they're really positioning themselves for great success. So I'm going to pass it off to Gloria to share what took place in their group.
If I can get unmuted. Yes, we had a really great conversation within our group. We have Kenyatta, that's a consultant. She said that she was heavily impacted because of COVID. And of course, because of that, she was forced to get a part-time job. And that was very challenging. So she, and also within the group, we had a member of one of the banks, and I'm so sorry, I don't remember the name. Anyway, she just shared that, you know, her clientele was going through those same challenges. So that did impact their business. One of the things that we talked about as well is that what they have done to overcome the challenges, you know, is to focus up on their business and having, you know, to get help with their finances. I like what Mr. Williams said in regards to what he did to, you know, to help him, you know, to get over blocking his business growth, which was that he said that he pulled back, he relaxed, he did a regroup and he reevaluated, and he also made time for himself. And so that really made a big difference for him. And also another factor that has helped all the businesses that was in our group was social media and using those platforms, you know, to draw their audience and to present a more professional image. So yeah, it was a great conversation.
All right, thank you so much, Gloria. And now let's hear from Fatima.
Look, I couldn't find the unmute button. Okay. Yeah. So with the question, what are you doing every day that's taken away from growing your business? pretty much we all were workaholics. Everyone was trying to do everything themselves, which I understand that, because a lot of times we think, oh, it'll get done quicker. We just, just go, 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 go. So that was pretty much the similar answer for each business. So one of the things that they've been doing to try to allocate more time is to kind of delegating, having someone else to fill in and handle some of those tasks instead of just trying to do everything themselves. Casey, she mentioned reemergence, just trying to transition to the new way. Of course, with everything that's been going on, everyone has had to pivot in their business in some form. So I think just that, all of that has been challenging, just trying to readjust to things. Let's see, and with the question, what have you done to overcome something that was blocking your business? Ms. Dottie mentioned having to fire someone. That is always challenging, but you just have to, sometimes you just have to make those hard decisions. If it's something that's going to be better for your business, sometimes you just have to really just suck it up and do it, so, but yeah, just really trying to adapt to everything.
All right. Well, thank you, Fatima. Leslie, what did you learn from your group?
Yeah, we had a great conversation. We had 3 companies that like really served kind of niche markets. One was medical billing, one was like training, and one was like the full digitization of your company. So all of them definitely talked about outsourcing. Like we talked about outsourcing things that are maybe not a great use of your time, like accounting, your website design, things like that, things that, maybe you could do, you have the skill to do, but it's just not, you can pay someone to do it for less than it would cost your own time. So that's good. And then where the digitization company was concerned, they, their business really picked up during COVID because a lot of companies realized that they weren't digital and they weren't prepared to work from home or to even just work outside of their office. So they were able to help a lot of companies that way. And he said that they really, they were able to create dashboards where he could watch each of his employees behind the scenes so that he didn't have to really check in on people and he could look at their productivity level, and decided, I thought this was cool, decided to measure their productivity level by the customer's experience and not by revenue. So that way he didn't have, his employees feeling like they needed to constantly push products. And instead we're just focusing on how people were helping. They also consolidated office space in order to save money, which is, I think, something a lot of people did during the pandemic. And then as far as challenges to overcome were concerned, we have Mrs. Tucker that does the medical billing. She is new to the area. So she said, one thing was just the typical barriers to entry of like getting past that gatekeeper in medical offices that has been doing the billing for forever. So she's just trying to just establish a good reputation in Memphis by allowing people to see how much money they could be saving if they were really more up to date on how to do these things well. Because a lot of times they have people in their office that have been doing it for years and years. And then we also had a couple people that had started that usually did a lot of things in person, like trainings. And so they transitioned those to virtual, which is helpful, of course, not only during the pandemic, but that's something that you can continue to offer down the line. And so they were able to, and they were also able to partner with some firms in town that could kind of complement what they were already doing. And also we had some people that said they did have some like bad apples that were kind of affecting their company culture. So just firing those people, rehiring people with like maybe the culture mindset in mind first, and then train them to do the job. that is something that my boss always talks about too. You can't train people to be good people, but you can take good people and then train them to do what you need them to. So yeah, it was very good.
All right. Thank you so much, Leslie. Kendra, let's hear from you.
Hello, everyone. So my group, we kind of had a technical issue. A lot of people, three of the discussion people couldn't log in to discuss. Their audio was messed up. So we had one person that contributed everything. So she's like the person that carried the whole entire team. She's with Independent Bank. So a couple of challenges, of course, was the COVID and the inability to go outside to network with people. In her line of business as a branch manager, they depend heavily on face-to-face. So they hit that roadblock. And staffing, she, as a lot of people may have experienced, the staffing was a roadblock for them where they were losing people for various reasons. But how they overcame everything, or how she overcame everything, was reaching out to her existing clients. So they gave her the opportunity to call the people that already have deposits and relationships with Independent Bank. And after networking through them digitally, either by phone call or Zoom call, she noticed that there was a growth in their deposits, roughly about 10% so far for the first 2 quarters. And that's pretty great considering a lot of people are experiencing things where they are losing money. By her basically overcoming those challenges and reaching out to the product or the clients that were there that she already had, it helped increase her business. So that's what we have from our group.
All right. Thank you so much, Kendra. And
No
last
problem.
but not least, Melody.
Sorry, I'm unmuting myself. Thank you. I actually had a couple of issues, the same as Kendra. A few of my people could not speak at all. So there were 2 people that I was able to talk to, very wonderful young ladies. One, Wendy Strain of Write Services. She does the editing of people who write books. So she, from the beginning to the end. And also Jana Cardona, she is the owner of Design for Success. And we all, I work in television, we all just seem to have some of the same issues in our business and what we do. One of the largest dilemmas is emails, 24-hour emails, where Wendy even said that she tries to take an hour in the morning to go through her emails and an hour in the afternoon at the end of the day. And that's 2 hours out of the day, and that's just not enough. And one of the other things that Jana was talking about is that when you're trying to get work done and trying to just deal with your business, you have so many you have calls that people want things now. They want answers now. They want things now. And that just hinders everything that you're trying to do on a daily basis. Then when we talked about, are you working more in your business or on your business? A lot of times it's still doing the tedious work, trying to get all the administrative things done instead of really working on what you're trying to do to grow your business. So that's a huge challenge, but they're very smart ladies. We talked about some of the things that you're doing to overcome these things. And Wendy said, as far as helping her, a lot of her book writers, she's starting a coaching program, because sometimes when you have clients, there are a lot of things that they can do that you're not getting paid for that. So she's starting a coaching program to help them realize that there are some things that they can do for themselves, and she can really deal with the business at hand to deal with more of her clientele to move forward and to constantly build, which I thought was very good. Let me go to the next page because we went through a whole lot of things. But we even talked about family. When you own your own business, you have all this business, but if you have children, you have parents, you have relatives, there are so many things. So you have to just kind of set boundaries that this is my time, we'll have this time, this is my time, but you really have to set boundaries. About growing the company, especially with people, they talked about creating a system for all of your people, whether it's your clientele or whether it's your employees, to set a system for everybody to follow that helps them out to move forward, and to help your business. And it also helps you to be able to get some things off of your plate to move forward. And it was just kind of interesting. One of the things we talked about was, some things that hinder your finances. And it's sometimes doing too many things for free. Telling people, okay, I know you don't have enough money here, or, okay, I know you don't have any money right now, but I'll do this. But you have to be careful with that, because before you know it, you're doing too many things for free. So they were saying, like, even when you have speaking engagements, podcasts, have a matrix and see about if those things, as you do them, measure them to see if it brings in clientele. And if it doesn't, no is not necessarily a bad word. Sometimes you have to do that, because at the end of the, when we're always talking about things, we're trying to make money. So just want you to know, Wendy Strain and Jenna Cardona, they're awesome business ladies. I would recommend them. And the biggest thing that came out of it was networking. The three of us talked, and we'll be talking in the end. So very good job, ladies. Thank you so much. You actually made me look good today. Thank you.
And thank you, Melody. And thank you all for participating. This was a lot of fun. And following on your thread, Melody, our next meeting, we're going to give you the month of July off, everybody. So enjoy your time. Have a great time. Do something fun in the middle of the summer. And in August, when we come back together for our next Lunch in the Know, Jana Cardona is going to lead us, and we're going to talk about strategic networking. I think all of us in the past, yay, Melody! I think all of us in the past year and a half have missed being face-to-face with our customers, being face-to-face with our clients. I miss going to my favorite restaurant for lunch. I miss that networking. I miss all the networking events that we've had. And it's been tough to figure out how to network now. But things are changing, and we're all going to be able to get back in that. And we are thrilled that Jana will lead us in understanding more about strategic networking. Patricia, it's all yours.
Well, I just want to thank every one of you for being on this call. It sounds like we've gotten some really amazing nuggets that can help, and then areas that we can maybe get some help on from some of our partners. I do want to ask your help. Dottie and I really want you to complete the survey that we send out after our event. This is a way that we can really gauge how effective our events are. Our goal is to provide you with valuable information in every event. So please complete that. You will receive that today. So and it's only 5 questions. So we thank you so much, so very much for completing that. So if there's not anything else, Dottie, we're going to bid you farewell. Thank you so much, and have a great rest of your day.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Thanks. You all have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.